Today we're going to talk about the new Netflix original series, The Witcher. So let's get started. What's up everybody, Justin here again. Today we're going to talk about the new Netflix original series, The Witcher, which stars Henry Cavill, and he is jacked. And this is based off of a very popular video game and a series of novels. Now, I have not read any of the novels. I have not played any of the video games. I have a friend who considers The Witcher to be their favorite game of all time. I'm more of a Nintendo kind of person. Like, I just play Mario Brothers and Pokemon and occasionally baseball games. So I have not played The Witcher. I have not read any of the novels. So I'm going into this series with no knowledge whatsoever of what this series is about. But still, judging by the trailer and the posters and the hype for it, I wanted to check this series out. And it's about 8 episodes long, about 60 minutes each, so it's a little bit of a long watch. And the show does start off a little bit slow. The first couple episodes, you're kind of getting used to this character, Geralt, who is played by Henry Cavill. He is a monster hunter, and he struggles to find his place in the world where people often prove more wicked than beasts. Within this first couple episodes, you're getting so many characters and so many scenarios and so many requests for Geralt that you kind of get lost in everything that is happening. There's so much being thrown at you within these first couple episodes. And it's a bit of a struggle to watch the first couple episodes because you're trying to comprehend everything that is going on, all these new characters, trying to figure out which ones are important to the overall story and which ones will benefit throughout the series. But once we get into the third and fourth, fifth episode of the series, things really start to fall into place. You start to understand these characters, and some of the other side characters within the show get some development as well, which make them really strong characters, almost as good as Geralt within the show. The production design going into this, the costume design going into it, is very believable. It's stunning to look at. This is a well shot show. Now, there is a lot of monsters, a lot of cool looking monsters, but the CGI for it at times is a little bit questionable, and you don't really feel some of the intense moments from some of the monsters. Some of them look really cool and add a lot to the show. Some are a little bit iffy and don't really add some intense moments to the show. But I would say for most of it, the monsters look cool and add a lot to the show. Henry Cavill is great in the show. There's plenty of times where his shirt is off, and you can see that he is absolutely jacked. He is ripped for this series. He looks good. And often, in early parts in the beginning of the series, it explains that a Witcher doesn't really have feelings. So there are a few times where he's very emotionless, and that might not work for some people. You might think that, wow, Geralt is a really boring character and doesn't do much for the show. There is times during the show that you do see what he is feeling. He's rude at times. He's also very determined, and he wants things to get done his way, which makes it for an interesting character to watch, because he is regarded as a great monster hunter and people are requesting a lot from him. And so he has to get things done his way. And so when things don't go his way, it's a bit annoying to the character. One of my other favorite characters besides Geralt is Yennefer, who has such great character development within the show. She goes from someone who is called Piglet often throughout the beginning part of the series and moves forward with herself and has a strong character development and becomes really confident in the role, and she becomes a really fun character to watch. The series definitely does end on a high note, and I could tell that Netflix is really banking on this series to be really popular. It looks like it could go down as similar to Game of Thrones with the source material and the way that the show looks. It definitely starts off a bit slow, but really ramps up throughout the series and becomes really action-packed and intense and well shot at the end of the series. And they already greenlit a second series, and I heard that they want to do a bunch more. So they put a lot of money into it, hoping that this series would be really popular and all of the gamers would flock and watch the show and love it, and then they would just make a really great Netflix series. I can see that this series will end up being really popular. It has a lot of great production design going into it. A lot of effort works with this show, and their characters within the show are great as well. Henry Cavill is Geralt. I love it. There's some great character development from some side characters. It's one of those shows that kind of just throw a lot at you right away and expect you to just follow along, but once you get to like the middle part of the series, it kind of slows down and you get to understand some of these characters and kind of follow everything that is happening. I think I did watch the first episode twice because I wanted to just make sure I was catching everything that was happening. But I ended up really liking The Witcher. As someone who has never played the game before and as someone who's never read any of the novels, I was going into it with no knowledge of that series, and I ended up really liking it so much that I would possibly think about playing the video games at some point in my life. I mean, not right now, can't promise you that, but at one point maybe I would like to play the game and then read the novels to see all of that and explore the lore behind The Witcher and the world and some of the other characters and different things like that, because I heard that he's got a beard and people were kind of disappointed that he didn't have a beard. So maybe in the second season we would have the beard on The Witcher. I'm curious to explore more of this world and see what this show has to offer and see if it ends up becoming a really popular Netflix series and see what season 2 does have to offer. So you can expect a season 2 review whenever that is, probably, 2021. I do plan on reviewing a lot of Netflix series starting within next week, day after Christmas, with you, and just bunch in January. I want to do more Netflix series and movie reviews for you guys because I like watching Netflix and Disney Plus is like something that's always going on in my house. So I'm always looking for something new to watch. So definitely expect more Netflix series and movie reviews coming your way very soon. So before I give you my final thoughts and score on The Witcher Season 1, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below and click that bell notification for more up and coming videos. Guys, we're up to almost 6,000 subscribers. Thank you to all the support along the way. I really do appreciate it. It truly means a lot to me. So The Witcher, I was pleasantly surprised with. I really didn't know much about it, and then I saw some posts early Friday morning before I started watching it that it was a bad show and it had like 50% or so on Rotten Tomatoes. So I was like, oh, this is going to be fun. It's a video game adaptation. We can't expect it to be that great, but it's really good. I really did enjoy it. Something that I want to explore more of and come back and watch it again and be anticipating another season. So I'm gonna go ahead and give The Witcher Season 1 a B+. Thank you guys for checking my review for the first season of The Witcher starring Henry Cavill. It is on Netflix now. If you guys have seen it, what is your favorite episode? Let me know in the comment section down below. My name is Just Watch Movies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.